Hey guys, thank you so much for checking us out. If you're looking for a place to upskill yourself and start making money, becoming employable in the shortest amount of time, you're at the right place. Okay. At the Hacker Collective, our vision is very simple. We believe that education should not be crazy expensive, right? You shouldn't need to pay hundreds of thousands to universities or tens of thousands to boot camps. We believe in a community-based learning, a peer-to-peer learning model where we learn from our friends, we work on projects together, and then we become employable together. Okay. So when I say that our vision here is to make education accessible to all, what I mean really is that I believe that regardless of who you are, even if you're from an underserved community, if you're Chinese or Malay or Indian, everyone deserves an equal shot at education. No one should be locked out of school because they can't afford education. That makes no sense to me, all right? And see, the thing is, it is possible in this day and age, right? I learned to code on my own. I can go into that story in the future, but long story short, there are a ton of crazy good materials online. And if let's just use learning to code as an example, right? At the end of the day, everyone is referring to the same documentation. And if you ask me what is documentation, it's simple. Here's an example I like to give, right? If you learn English, you have a dictionary for English. If you learn Chinese, you have a dictionary for Chinese. And obviously, if you learn programming language, you have a dictionary for that language, right? So in this context, the documentation is the dictionary. So regardless if you pay 100,000 or you pay 10,000 or wherever you go, right? You end up referring to the same documentation. You're learning from the same dictionary per se, and you're learning the same language. And the end goal is the same, to learn up the language and become employable. Okay, and how do you become employable? That's by doing projects and showing your skill sets, right? Showing employers that you are employable. Okay, so regardless if you pay 100,000 or you pay 10,000, that's up to you. But our belief here at the Hacker Collective is that you can do it without those amounts of money, going just by a community-based learning program. So the problem here, right? So if whatever I said was so attractive, and you have all these super good materials online from recordings from Ivy League lecturers, right? These are really good materials. The problem here is that why are people still not doing this at scale, right? A lot of people still tend to believe that you need a university degree to get a job, and it's quite true to a certain extent to some companies, right? So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to reverse engineer all the pros of a university degree and put it into our learning model so that everyone can take advantage of it and start monetizing from it as soon as possible. All right, we don't believe in sitting in a lecture hall for like many years. We don't believe in that. We believe in learning the minimum you need and getting hands-on experience in the shortest amount of time possible, right? So if you're one of those guys who really believes that, oh yeah, you need a university and all that, good for you. Go ahead, pay debt and pay off your debt in the next 5 years. Go ahead and do it. It's good, right? You can afford it. I'm happy for you. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to provide a platform. See it as an alternative for those who cannot have the luxury like yourself to go for those kind of degrees. In the graduate tracer study, one of the studies that the government did last year, right? Over 50% of fresh graduates didn't get a job within the first year. And out of those 50% who actually got a job, half of them are doing in jobs that they don't like. They're not looking for those jobs. So they're not working in the field that they studied for. Now, this is a very, very alarming problem because the statistics shows that it doesn't work, right? You studied 3 years, you paid so much money, you spent so much of your time in that degree, and you end up being unemployed for the first year, which makes no sense. Companies in the West are accepting candidates without a degree. They say, as long as you have the skill sets, you can prove to me that you have the skill sets, we'll bring you on board, right? Tesla's doing it, Apple's doing it, Google's doing it. So many companies are doing it, and I believe this trend will only grow from here because so many companies are facing talent shortages today, okay, especially in tech. So next point would be the fact that self-learning is often very difficult. It's very tough, right? I did it myself, right? You have no friends, no guidance. You often don't even know if whatever you're doing is possible. No one's there to motivate you. Let's say you're stuck at a problem and no one is there to help you out with it, right? It's very tough. You don't have mentors, right? And I guess another biggest reason as well that this is not happening at scale is because often, the digital certs are not valuable anymore because people are just exploiting it. Things like Udemy and Coursera and Skillshare and all that, right? Yes, the certs might be cool, right? But at the end of the day, if a cert is obtained solely by you clicking next on all that videos just to show that you've completed it, employers know that you're doing that, right? You cannot add any value just with a sheet of paper, a piece of paper. You need to show that you're able to add value by building projects, by working with your friends, by showing some cool stuff that you've built, right? This is how you establish your value that you can bring to the organization that you're applying for. And I believe if someone goes out to learn anything, build some nice, small, basic portfolio, do a short internship in the company, I believe that is an easier route, a 3 to 6 months route for you to even get a job in the first place. Very, very simple. Okay, so I guess it's time for me to introduce myself really quickly. My name is Derek and I'm the co-founder of the Hacker Collective. And the question is, why am I doing this, right? So I'm doing this because this is a place that I wish I had back then when I was learning to code, right? I'm a self-taught coder. I taught myself to code, even though nowadays I'm doing more things on the business side of things, but I've been through this journey myself. Okay, and back then I didn't know what to do. I couldn't afford uni, I couldn't afford boot camps, and online tutorials were really difficult. I had to work my ass off to really meet mentors, meet friends who are on the journey with me. It's tough. So this is a place where we want to bring people of similar mindset together, learn up code and get jobs together. I taught myself code after locking myself at home for 6 months, right? 12 hours a day just to learn to code. And after 6 months, it's awesome, right? I've got inquiries from IT students. I even actually taught IT graduates how to code. They reached out to me and said, hey, Derek, what are you working on now? I said, hey bro, I'm learning to code. Do you have any, is there any way we can collaborate? They came up to me with their coding questions and I solved it for them. And that feeling was amazing, right? And and not long after that incident, I had friends coming up to me to start working on projects together, right? They probably got a client, right? Computer science student got a client, his uncle or something, asking him to do a project. And he couldn't do it. He had to come to me and we had to discuss and work it out together. And I actually built it for him. So all of these incidents just really got me realizing something is really, really wrong with the education industry today, right? If people can spend 3 years and go in debt, and yet when they graduate, they either can't get a job or they can't deliver on the job, something is very wrong. And that is why I started the Hacker Collective, where we want to bring people together, put them in small peer-to-peer learning groups, learning together on their own, throw them a mentor to help them in their journey. In 2 to 3 months, we bring them to our partner companies for them to do their internship, and after that, they get real world experience, they have a nice portfolio under their belts, they get a job, right? Even if it's not a crazy well-paid job, hey, you saved 100,000 from your uni degree, you saved 3 years of your time, go ahead, do that job for 1 to 2 years, then after 2 years, you're definitely gonna get way above your entry-level salary that a fresh grad will get. Okay, so that's the idea that we have for the Hacker Collective. We are starting a batch very, very soon. If you like the idea of this video, I apologize if this is not a very professionally done video, but the point here is that I want to sell the vision to you guys. I want you guys to know why are we even doing this in the first place. And if you feel like you are interested in this and you know anyone who might benefit from this, let us know, right? We are looking for a small group of individuals, 10 to 20 people, very, very self-motivated individuals to work very closely with them, understand every part of their needs, right? Tweaking the model until we perfect it before we start scaling it. So we're going to work very closely with this group of 10 to 20 individuals, and we're confident enough to say that we will give you a full refund if you don't get a job. Okay, it's as simple as that. Come and join us, come and try it out, and just sign up on the link below. Looking forward to chatting with you soon. Thanks guys. See you.